Hi guys, I'm Dee Harris. Welcome to another episode of Hanging Out with Dee, where I hang out with amazing, inspiring, fabulous people. And today I have Dr. Daphne with me. But before I talk to Dr. Daphne, I know a lot of you know I had surgery. I had surgery a week ago. And so I have my little friend here, and my leg is elevated just so I take care of my leg while I hang out with Dr. Daphne. Welcome, Dr. Daphne.
Thank you, Dee. Thank you. It's an honor to be here.
Yes, yes. I'm so happy to have you.
And I see how committed you are, because to be out, it shows after surgery in just a week, it shows how passionate you are about serving your listeners.
Yes, yes. I love what I do. So, Dr. Daphne is an amazing, amazing, prolific author. She's brought a few of her books here, Conversations on Success, Celebrating 365 Days of Gratitude, and Mission Unstoppable. So you know we have a really big heavyweight here with us today. So Dr. Daphne, tell me, you were born in Jamaica and you have a really interesting story about your life. Just tell us about that.
I was born in Jamaica, West Indies, in the parish of Westmoreland.
Yes.
I was not brought up privileged. I was born and raised by poor, humble parents. When I say poor, not in morals and values, but in material things.
Yes, yes.
I lost my mother at the tender age of 13, and you know how devastating can be for a girl just entering puberty and to lose her mother.
Yes.
And being an only child, I was just there with my father, you know. My father didn't know how to braid hair or plait hair, as we say in Jamaica, nothing.
Yes.
So he sent me to live with my auntie.
Oh my goodness.
And it was not the best of times. My auntie had three other children.
Yes.
And of course, I was like the substitute for the maid. She didn't send me to school as regular. And I didn't want to tell my father what was going on and that.
So was that your dad's sister?
No, my
mother's sister.
My mother's sister. And God is good all the time. Even when we don't appreciate what he's doing, he's always looking out for us, because somebody told my father what was happening. Going on. Do you know that Sweetie is not going to school? Because that's
they used to call you Sweetie?
Yeah, I'm still sweet.
Ever sweet.
And somebody told my father when he went to the market. So Papa came home and he said to me, how come you didn't tell me Aunt Merkel not sending you to school? So I said, I didn't want to tell.
Yes.
So he said, you're not going back.
Good.
So he didn't send me back there. I went back to my old Carmel school.
And did you go back to living with your dad?
Go back and live with my father, and started going to school there. But, you know, my mother was an asthmatic, and she kind of pre-programmed me, because my father, my family they were farmers. And when my mother had an asthmatic attack, I used to stay home with her.
Yes.
So she kind of pre-programmed me
to be that kind of caring person.
And you're going to be a nurse. You're going to be a nurse.
She always told you that.
Always told me that. You're going to be a nurse, and you're from Jamaica, so you know that back in the day, I don't know how old you are, but back in the day, people were going to England to do nursing.
Definitely.
So that was the plan.
Thing. Yes.
That was the plan my mother and my father had for me. So Papa was raising some goats and some pigs, because those were the bank account.
Correct. That was your wealth. That was your wealth.
That was your wealth.
Yep.
The animal.
Yep.
So, you know, this cow is
that cow is for 1 year.
To go to the for Sweetie to go to nursing school in England.
Yes.
The pig is for the plane fare.
Yes.
And everything, every animal
represented money.
Something.
Correct.
And money.
Yes.
And you know at what time it is going to be sold.
Correct.
To get all of that.
Correct.
So, but with my mother dying, that dream kind of fell by the wayside. I didn't go to England to do nursing. But that message played in my head all the time.
Yes.
Although I was not privileged to go to high school, because I didn't pass the scholarship full. So it's either you pass the full common entrance exams or
I remember that,
You remember common
Yes.
entrance exam.
Or you go to secondary
now
school.
Now the children are privileged because they are automatically going to
Correct.
high school.
Yes.
But back then,
You had to
you
pass
had to
the
pass
common
the full
entrance.
common
I
entrance
remember.
exam to go to high school.
Yep.
Or your parents are privileged financially and they would send you to secondary school.
Correct.
So I was not blessed with that. However, I had a desire. And I went back to Carmel School and did the first, second, and third Jamaica local exams.
Yes.
Because twice I failed the common entrance exam, only passing it half. And by then I got to the age where I couldn't take it again, so I took the Jamaica local exams, first, second, and third year, remember?
Yes.
If you know about that.
I remember, yes.
Yeah. So you take that, you can either go to teacher's college or you could go to nursing school. So then, after I passed the third one, then I moved to Montego Bay and went into nursing at the St. James Hospital in Montego Bay. And I started working at the St. James Hospital. Then they built the Cornwall Regional Hospital.
Yes.
And I moved to Cornwall Regional Hospital. I did my internship at the Savlamar Hospital in Westmoreland.
Wow.
Before graduation.
So your life became a lot about, nursing and health.
Nursing and health. However, I label that as nurturing because even when I was doing nursing, there was a void. There was a wide, big void in my life. I didn't understand what it was. I was good at nursing. I was diligent with my patients, but I was not an ordinary nurse.
Yes.
I would not just give you your medicine. I would have to get into a conversation.
Correct.
And it would really annoy my co-workers. They would say, Clark, why you always have to stop to talk to everybody? Everybody bed you go, you have to have a big conversation.
Correct. You valued them. You wanted to
And
know
I would say,
more.
I don't know. I just have to talk. Oh, by the way, Mrs. Harris, here is your medication. And I move to the next person. And it's the same thing.
Deep care, more
Deep
than
care
just
and nurturing, because people talk about, I hear some teachers talking about finding your purpose. Your purpose is never lost. It is always
You're born with
inside of
it.
you.
Yes.
You're born with
Yes.
it. And so long as you are obedient
Correct.
and diligent
Correct.
to that which you are called to do,
you'll discover that which is already
exactly.
inside.
You will ignite it and
Correct.
manifest it. You
Correct.
don't have to go search for it.
Correct.
You search for something when you are working and competing with somebody else. But when you're walking in your true calling and purpose, there's nothing to find.
Definitely.
You just manifest
You have it.
it. So
Wonderful.
with that being said, I'm doing nursing and I'm talking. Then an opportunity came up. I don't know if you, when you were in Jamaica, you were ever part of the government structure, but an opportunity came up at the Jamaica Cultural Development Commission. So I got a secondment. What a secondment means is that you can transfer from one government agency to another without losing any privileges.
Nice.
So I went to the Cultural Development Commission and woo, man. No, before I went to the Cultural Development Commission, I went to Public Health.
Yeah.
And the void got a little narrow because I was meeting and working with different families and different, at the food handlers clinic for the hotel workers. It was like a match made in heaven. So the void was less and less and less.
But it still wasn't.
Then I hit the jackpot when I went to the Festival Commission. I was going from district to district to help people.
Yeah.
Identify their skills and talents. And over the summer, we had the big cultural exhibition.
All right, hold that thought. Right after this, we're going to go into Dee's live questions with Dr. Daphne. As you can see, Dr. Daphne is a woman of purpose and fire and everything. So let's ask you, what do you think destiny is? You were just talking about that earlier. What is destiny and how do you ignite that?
Destiny is part of your calling. A lot of times people, for example, I'll use this scenario, somebody will have an accident and they will die at a tender age. and people are devastated.
Yeah.
But if you have a true understanding and a belief of one's destiny, you will say, in that short time that person lived on earth, they have completed their purpose and their destiny. And if you believe, you know that their spirit is still here. And if you can look back and analyze the journey that they live, although it might only be for 15 years, 30 years, 40 years, whatever, their destiny was fulfilled. While there are others who will continue for 80, 90 years.
And still not figure out.
Still don't figure out, and they die empty.
Yes.
So your years has nothing to do with fulfilling your destiny. It's experiencing and living one day at a time to the fullest.
Correct.
Don't get into the practice of putting off and procrastinating. Oh, I'll do it tomorrow. It's not
Tomorrow
promised
never
to
comes.
us, Dee,
Yes.
so we don't know. So why not utilize right now
Correct.
to the fullest?
Correct.
Everything I can give you today,
Pack it
I'm
in.
giving it to you. I'm not saying, oh, tomorrow. Tomorrow is going to be a blessing. And that's why it is so important each day when we see the rising of the sun to give gratitude for this new day.
Yes.
Because you have never seen it before.
Definitely.
And it's another opportunity for you to go out there.
Fresh start, brand new
Fresh.
opportunity.
Yes.
How beautiful.
Yes.
What do you know for sure?
I know for sure that I'm authentic. I know for sure that I'm unique. And no matter what, nobody can do me like
you.
I do
Hello.
me.
Only one of you.
Only one of me.
That's powerful, and that's something that our listeners can also tune into. There's only one of them.
Exactly.
Nobody can be better than who they are.
That's
Nobody
right.
can be
That's right.
a better Fabian
That's
or
right.
Evan or
That's right.
Dylan or nobody else can be better.
Just stay focused. Run your race. Stay in your lane.
Yes, yes. That's beautiful. All right, guys, now we're going into a new segment called I Don't Like That Man. All right, Dr. Daphne, what don't you like? What irritates your
Gossiping, gossiping,
Lord have mercy.
gossiping, gossiping, gossiping. It mess up life.
Yes.
I hate gossiping. I like people who are judgmental too.
Why?
Because a lot of people forget their journey,
Yes.
the path that took them to where they are now. And they look on people and they say, oh, I can't stand him or I can't stand her because of X, Y, Z. Never forget your journey.
Never.
Never forget your
That
journey.
is a huge pet peeve for me, that someone would go through an experience in life, whether teenage pregnancy or they were on drugs or whatever their issue was, and then see someone else going through that same thing and have that ugly, nasty, critical spirit instead of saying, man, look, I've been there. I know what he's going to let. Send some positive energy and some light that person's way.
You know, each and every one of us need to understand the importance of our story or our messes, whatever they are.
Yes.
However, there are times when you should not be telling all of your story and all of your message to everybody.
So true.
I oftentimes says, I refuse to feed pigs with my china or my crystal, and that's my story. I am not going to be telling my story to people who it will not benefit or who will not learn from it.
Correct.
Because oftentimes that's where the judgments come in. But if you connect to your spirit and your authentic place, you will know when the time is right, because you're going to be talking to somebody and the spirit is going to say to you,
Share that.
You need to tell them this.
Correct.
And this is why every time people will listen to your story, they're not hearing all of it, because not everybody need all of your story.
Little pieces
but
that
the
resonate.
part that is supposed to be for them. That's the part the Holy Spirit is going to tell you. This is why each and every one of us in life, it has nothing to do with religion, but we need to connect to our spiritual parts so we can be used as vessels.
Definitely.
Because there are times when all we need to do is to embrace somebody or give somebody a shoulder to cry on.
Definitely.
Or just say that one little word out of your story that they wanted to hear.
And that's it.
And
Bring
that's
healing.
Bring healing.
Okay, so now you heard what we really don't like. All right, it's time for Say What? We're having so much fun with Dr. Daphne. Too much fun. All right, so now the Say What segment, as my listeners know, is a time when you get to go a little deeper into your area of expertise. So today we're going to talk about reinvention. What is reinvention? Slide 1.
Reinvention allows each individual to turn around their experiences. Sometimes there are adversities and experiences. How can you reinvent yourself? A lot of times when we go through challenges and struggles, we become victim instead of victors. A reinvention helps you to catapult out of your valley into that person that you're meant to be. A lot, what they say.
Okay, so you're saying when people go through something rough, a hard time, they tend to make themselves victims. What do you mean by that?
Each experience you go through is a life lesson. It's a lesson learned. So don't sit back and say, why me, poor me? I've been knocked down. Every time I apply for a job, I can't get it. Correct. Look on that person getting that job. Why I can't get it? That job probably was not meant for you.
Good.
So you look around on that and what do I need to do with my life?
Correct.
When you think about reinvention, gather all the past experiences or adversities, dissect them and look on them and say, all right, this is what I can use with this.
Correct.
You put a new plan together for your life that is going to help you to catapult, as I've said before, out of that valley or dungeon that the experience have placed you and said, listen, I'm getting up, I'm brushing off myself, I'm going to start something new.
Definitely.
You might be feeling a desire to make red velvet cake.
Yeah.
And you've been trying to be a receptionist.
Yes.
And you don't have no people skills. So if you don't have no people skills, why you want to go do that?
Yes.
Reinvent your life.
Yes.
Make some sample, make a cake.
Correct.
Hand out samples and see the feedback you get from people.
Correct.
It's going to blow your mind.
Definitely.
And then you're going to think, why the heck I've been wanting to be a receptionist, coming home with high blood pressure and headache when I could have been making the red velvet
And it was a
cake.
message all along. The fact that you weren't clicking and you weren't being excellent in that area.
Exactly.
The fact that the door closed over here was God's sign that this is not for you.
A closed door is not all.
Don't push it
bad.
down. Yeah.
One door closes, another open.
And many of us spend our time kicking down the closed door.
Yes, and paying all our attention on the closed door.
Correct.
The reason this is happening because people, we don't take time to be still. It is in the stillness of our lives that we get the most powerful messages.
Yes.
People need to take time to be still and to write. I'm such an avid advocate for journaling.
Yes.
Write your thoughts down because a lot of what you need to do is on those pages. If you go back and look over it,
the answer is there.
The answer is there. And a journaling, a regular journal and a gratitude journal will be most of the 2 important steps that you have as you work towards reinventing your life.
So important, so important. Why should someone reinvent themselves?
Because it presents new growth. Reinvention is like planting garden at the springtime.
Yeah.
There are some bulbs people dig up during the fall and they clean them up and put them back in the spring. And that's what reinvention does for you. It gives you new pep,
in your step.
To move ahead without any fear.
Correct.
To move ahead with confidence and conviction and belief that no matter where I've been, that's behind me. Now I'm ready to go forward.
Perfect.
And nothing can hold me back.
Wonderful.
Reinvention, the success of reinvention is totally dependent on your commitment and your understanding that you must find someone who will hold you accountable. Not someone that will enable you, but someone that will hold you accountable.
Which can
say,
be uncomfortable.
Hey, Dee,
yeah.
this is what you told me you're going to do. What's up? I ain't see nothing going on.
You're off track.
Let's talk about it.
Yes.
No, I'm not going to tell you you're off track, but I'm going to say, let's talk about it. And I'm going to keep pulling and pulling until you say to me, Daphne, I've been off track. I promise you I'm getting back.
You allow the person
because
to get
when
there.
I'm telling you, I'm giving you instruction what to do. I want you to manifest. I want to pull out of you that thing that you keep pushing down inside of you.
Yes.
I want to help you to blossom.
And it's so powerful. I think reinvention is so powerful for so many people. Stay-at-home moms who after their kids are back at school are trying to figure out who am I. Immigrants, I can totally relate to that, leaving a big high-powered job in Jamaica and then coming here and going, who am I, what do I do? People who are retired and they still have so much energy in them and they're figuring like, what do I do now?
Yes,
So really
yes,
powerful,
yes.
really powerful stuff.
You know, a couple of years ago, a lady consulted with me and she raised 4 boys and they were all college graduate and now she was ready. She was an empty nester and she was ready to go back. And she said to me, I don't have any skills. And I said, you kidding me, right? I said, how many kids you raise? She told me. I said, which college they went to? Harvard, Yale, Princeton, and I forgot where one other boy went to. I said, oh, you don't have any skills?
She has plenty of skills.
I said, let's talk about some of the activities when they were growing up.
Correct.
And
Pull
she went
that
like,
out of her, yeah.
And she went like, oh my God. I just look at them as a mother's duty. I
Not
said,
realizing the skills that
the
she
skills
brought
that I
to
said,
their
now
life.
you can help other women, other mothers and fathers
Correct.
to do those things.
All right. Next slide. How does someone reinvent themselves? The how. What would be, how do I reinvent myself?
The first step is to understand that you need reinvention.
Good.
Because you can't do what you don't accept.
Good.
So, accept your truth. Something is not working. It's my responsibility to do something to fix it.
Correct.
After you make that understanding and you accept your truth about that, you create a list about what is not working for you.
Okay.
Do you have the tools to do all of these? Or you need somebody?
Correct.
A lot of times people are refusing to invest in themselves, but it's important. So you're going to need a mentor. You're going to need a coach. You're going to need a buddy. And a lot of times those don't come free. Because if you knew how to do it by yourself,
You would have done it already.
You wouldn't be where you are right now. So you have to know that I cannot go around wanting to do things
The same way and expect change.
expect a change.
Correct.
So here is what I'll have to do. It's a sacrifice. I will have to discipline myself. People is going to tell me what I need to hear and not what I want to hear.
Correct.
So reinvention is uncomfortable.
Correct.
You cannot look to say people going to enable you and say, all right, poor Dee, oh, you've been through so much. Oh, why
That won't help you to the next step.
No.
A little bit of it is good, but not too much. You don't want too much of it.
Oh, loving, gentle kick in the hiney is what is
A
what
nice
is
kick
going
in
to
the
get you
butt.
there. Because a lot of times your mentor and your coach are seeing things for you that you don't see.
Correct.
And the reason you're not seeing it is out of fear.
Correct. Fear of change. Fear
of
new things.
change. Fear of the unknown.
Correct.
Trust is a big part of reinvention. So you have to trust your heart, that your heart is telling you that these things need fixing, and get the help you want.
Correct.
Don't go it alone.
Correct. So then what we need to do, How does someone reinvent themselves?
Accept
They need to
that accept your
that it's time
truth.
for change. Yeah.
Accept your truth that some things are not working and it is your responsibility to fix them.
Make a list
Make a list of the things that needs to be fixed.
and get help. Get a coach.
Get the support, a coach or a mentor or a buddy.
Yes.
You cannot do it alone. What those either of those three people will do is to hold
you
accountable
accountable.
and make a commitment to invest.
Correct.
The size of the budget for your reinvention should supersede the budget for your wardrobe. A lot of times we spend money on the outside
And not
we
on the
neglect the inside.
Okay.
So we need to reinvent from the inside out.
And invest in ourselves.
Yes.
All right, guys, we're gonna see a really super cute, funny video, and it's a cute doggy saying, "I love you."
Oh, she's so sweet.
She is.
I love you. I love you. Oh, we laughing at you. I love you.
How funny is that, guys? Oh my God. So cute and so sweet, and we all need to be told that we're loved, even if it comes from our little puppies. Awesome.
Yeah.
All right, so we're going to go into Dee's final thoughts now. We've really had a great time with you, Dr. Daphne.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, it's been a
I
pleasure.
really enjoy your show.
Yes.
Yes.
And we're going to read our favorite poem. This is our favorite poem. It's called Our Deepest Fear by Marianne Williamson. Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. We ask ourselves, who am I to be brilliant, gorgeous, talented, fabulous? Actually, who are you not to be? You are a child of God. Your playing small does not serve the world. There is nothing enlightened about shrinking so that other people won't feel insecure around you. We're all meant to shine as children do. We were born to make manifest the glory of God that is within us. It's not just in some of us, it's in everyone. And as we let our own light shine, we unconsciously give other people permission to do the same. As we're liberated from our own fear, our presence automatically liberates others. Thank you so much for hanging out with us today. We learned so much about reinvention, so much about using the mistakes in our life to propel us to the next level. Thank you so much, Dr. Daphne.
It's a pleasure.
So wonderful,
pleasure,
so wonderful.
pleasure.
And
Had
see you next
fun,
time.
lots of fun.
Bye.